Hare Krishna.
Hare
Mukhato avatar bhartata brahma purushasya kurudbhava yastunmukhat bharnanam mukhyo bhrut brahmano guru. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mukato avartata brahma purushasya kurudvaha yat mukhatvad varnanam mukhyo bhut brahmano guru. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mukato vartata brahma purusasya kurudvaha yastu mukhatvat varnanam mukhya bhut brahmano guru.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mukato avartat brahma purushasya kurutva yes tunmukha tupvad vardhanam mukhyo apud brahmano guru.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So we'll go to synonyms. Mukataha, from the mouth. Avartata, generated. Brahma, the Vedic wisdom. Purusashya, of the Virat Purusha, the gigantic form. Kuru Udvaha, O chief of the Kuru dynasty. Yaha, who are. Tu, due to. Unmukatvad, inclined to. Varnana, of the orders of society. Mukyaha, the chief. Abud, so became. Brahmanaha, called the Brahmanas. Guruhu, the recognized teacher or spiritual master. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaram Dāsī Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: O chief of the Kuru dynasty, the Vedic wisdom became manifested from the mouth of the Virat, the gigantic form. Those who are inclined to this Vedic knowledge are called Brahmanas, and they are the natural teachers and spiritual masters of all the orders of the society. Purport: as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, the four orders of human society developed with the order of the body of the gigantic form. The bodily divisions are the mouth, arms, waist, and legs. Those who are situated on the mouth are called Brahmanas. Those who are situated on the arms are called Kshatriyas. Those who are situated on the waist are called Vaishyas, and those who are situated on the legs are called Shudras. Everyone is situated in the body of the Supreme in his gigantic Vishwarupa form. In terms of the four orders, therefore, no caste is to be considered degraded because of being situated on a particular part of the body. In our own bodies, we do not show any actual difference in our treatment towards the hands or legs. Each and every part of the body is important, although the mouth is most important of the bodily parts. If the other parts are cut off from the body, a man can continue his life, but if the mouth is cut off, one cannot live. Therefore, this most important part of the body of the Lord is called the sitting place of the Brahmanas, who are inclined to the Vedic wisdom. One who is not inclined to the Vedic wisdom, but to mundane affairs, cannot be called a Brahmana, even if he is born of a Brahmana family or father. To have a Brahmana father does not qualify one as a Brahmana. The main qualification of a Brahmana is to be inclined to the Vedic wisdom. The Vedas are situated on the mouth of the Lord, and therefore anyone who is inclined to the Vedic wisdom is certainly situated on the mouth of the Lord, and he is a Brahmana. This inclination towards Vedic wisdom is also not restricted to any particular caste or community. Anyone from any family and from any part of the world may become inclined to the Vedic wisdom, and that will qualify him as a real Brahmana. A real Brahmana is a natural teacher or spiritual master. Unless one has Vedic knowledge, one cannot become a spiritual master. The perfect knowledge of the Vedas is to know the Lord, the personality of Godhead, and that is the end of the Vedic knowledge or Vedanta. One who is situated in the impersonal Brahman and has no information of the Supreme Personality of Godhead may become a Brahmana, but he cannot become a spiritual master. It is said in the Padma Puran, Sat karma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnava gurur na syat vaishnava swapacho guruhu. An impersonalist can become a qualified Brahmana, but he cannot become a spiritual master unless and until he is promoted to the stage of a Vaishnava or a devotee of the personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya, the great authority of Vedic wisdom in the modern age, stated, Kiba vipra kiba nyasi shudro ke nanaya e Krishna tattva veta se guru haya. A person may be a Brahmana or a Shudra or a Sannyasi, but if he happens to be well versed in the science of Krishna, then he is fit to become a spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 8.128. The qualification then of a spiritual master is not to be a qualified Brahmana, but to be well versed in the science of Krishna. One who is conversant with Vedic wisdom is a Brahmana, and only a Brahmana who is a pure Vaishnava and knows all the intricacies of the science of Krishna can become a spiritual master. Om Ajnana-timirantashya Jnananjana-shalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatharupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, पतित पावन श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्येश्वरं। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. Translation. O chief of the Kuru dynasty, the Vedic wisdom became manifested from the mouth of the Virat, the gigantic form. Those who are inclined to this Vedic knowledge are called Brahmanas, and they are natural teachers and spiritual masters of all the orders of society. So here, the supreme form of the Lord in the gigantic Virat Roop form is explained, and if you don't mind, I will keep it in gallery view so I can see everyone. So in this Virat Roop form, so the different orders of society of the human being is given. So Chaturvarnya Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. So Krishna created this 4 orders of human society. So the Varnashrama system, so that is 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And then the 4 ashramas, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. So these are the Varnashrama system Krishna designed, and it is given in the Virat Roop form that in the Lord's body, the different parts represent the different human society. So in the mouth, it is represented as Brahmanas, and the arms or the Kshatriyas, and the waist or the Vaishyas, and those who are situated on the legs are called Sudras. This is very technical, like we can understand like how it is mentioned. So how Prabhupada is explaining with an example that in our parts of the body, like of course, like everything is important, right? So we cannot say that, oh, I don't want anything. So everything is important to function perfectly as a human being. Like we need everything. So, but the most important part is actually the mouth, because even if the hands are cut, if the legs are cut, if the waist is not there, still a person can survive. But if the mouth is cut, so then the person cannot survive. So uh, but at the same time, because everything is in the same body, and there is, because it is situated in a different place, or it's not considered as the degraded. So but there is some importance or priority, we can say that importance is there for some particular part. So, and that's why here Prabhupada is mentioning that even if the other parts of the body is not there, so still people can survive. But if a mouth is cut, then it is not possible. So that's why the mouth is representing the Brahmana. So how these divisions is given, we can understand like so the Brahmana is the most important part, like because they are the one who study the Vedic wisdom and they share that knowledge to everyone. So in a kingdom, so how the previous generation happened is like for a king, so there was always a Brahmana will be there, who is actually he is assisting that king in giving that knowledge. So because as a king he should be well versed in scriptures, then only he can lead his kingdom in a very nice sattvic way, right? So otherwise, like he cannot. So it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that if a person wants to be a king or a parent, so then he have to deliver his dependence. If he cannot deliver his dependence, he is not qualified to become a king. He is not qualified to become a parent. So that means what? Like everyone have to be well versed in the scriptures. If it is not, then he is not supposed to take that responsibility. As a king, he have the responsibility to deliver the kingdoms, like the citizens of his kingdom. So for that, he have to get well versed. So how he can get well versed? He get advice from the Brahmana. So that's why in all the kingdom, so there will be a king and also there will be a Brahmana who will be guiding this Kshatriya. So Brahmana is a very important person from whom we listen, right? And then the next part is Kshatriya. So always the hands is the one which we use for protection, right? So that's why the Kshatriyas is meant to protect everyone or to manage everyone, right? So that's why they are called as Kshatriyas. And then Vaishyas are the one who actually produce the agricultural products like milk and whatever the ingredients that we need to sustain our body and soul together. So that's why Vaishyas are more important. And the Shudras are important to serve all these three kinds of categories. So that's why all these people are important in the society. But the most important person is because if the Brahmana is not giving the knowledge, then the whole kingdom will become a human life, animal life. So the whole kingdom is supposed to be a human life, but everyone will lead a animalistic life if they are not aware of the spiritual knowledge. So that is the main reason that Brahmana plays a most important role. So, and then also Prabhupada give here that the main qualification of a Brahmana is to be inclined to the Vedic wisdom. So it is not that, okay, if a person born in a Brahmana family, then he becomes a Brahmana. So this is not correct. So that's what example also given that how if a high court judge son, he will come and say that, okay, so I am son of my father and my father is a judge, so I will also be a judge. So that is not possible. And similarly, like if a doctor's son, so he goes and say that, okay, I am also son of my father and my father is a doctor, I am also doctor and I can also do operation. So he cannot do that. So he have to qualify to do any particular job. So similarly, a Brahmana is not the one who actually took birth in a Brahmana family becomes a Brahmana. No. So it is, that's why Krishna says guna karma vibhagasa. So whatever the guna, what the qualities that he is carrying, and what karma he performing, what action he is performing. So based on that, a person is certified as, okay, this person is a Brahmana and this person is not a Brahmana. So that is the main thing, like how the person will act and how the person will do any kind of action, it has to be inclined to the Vedic wisdom. So what the Vedas is saying, so that's what he have to practice, he have to follow it. So that is the main thing. So if not, then he is not understood to be a Brahmana. And also Prabhupada talks about that how this Vedic wisdom is not to any particular society or country. Okay, so this is only studied by certain type of people, like not for everyone. It's not like that. So Vedic wisdom is open for everyone, and everyone should take responsibility to know the scriptures, right? Because ignorance is not an excuse. Like we cannot say that, oh, I don't know, that's why I committed this sinful action or this offense. So we cannot say that I don't know, that's why I committed. So still law of karma is very strict. So law of karma is going to give punishment whatever that we are performing. So even though we say that I don't know, so like how as a if we are driving in a country, then we should know the rules and regulations of that country. So I cannot come and say that, and I don't know that I have to drive in the right side. So I thought it is like I have to drive in the left side, I was driving. So I cannot say that, and cop catches, I cannot say I don't know. So it is my duty, because I'm going to drive, I'm living in this country, I should know what is my rules and regulation. So similarly, we are in this material world and we should know what is my responsibility. So what I should do. So that is given in the Vedic wisdom. So in the Vedic wisdom, when we study, then we understand that, yes, I am part and parcel of Krishna, and my job or my responsibility or my religion is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when we understand that, then we start acting towards that path. Otherwise, we don't know and we will not follow. So that's why it is very important that it is open for everyone, and everyone should take this responsibility of studying the scriptures. And that's the main reason Srila Prabhupada very kindly have given the a system of studying the scriptures, like taking Bhakti Shastri and this Bhakti Vaibhav. It is not just okay for only whoever is going to preach, so they only have to study, or I don't have to study. So we should not think like that. So it is actually for our improvement. Like anything that we do in our spiritual life, it is first thing is for our spiritual progress. So when we study deeper and deeper, so then we realize like where we are standing. We can clearly see very easily that, okay, this is my mind is speaking and this is my intelligence is saying, then what I have to decide. Very clearly we can able to say, this is what called Shastra Chakshushu. Like we can see through our scriptures. So with our less intelligence, material intelligence or knowledge, that we cannot understand or discriminate anything. But when we study the scriptures, it actually helps us to go deeper in our spiritual progress and understand where we are standing and where we have to progress, so that we can clearly understand. So that's the main reason Srila Prabhupada said this study of Bhakti Shastri. So when we study, it is not to get a certificate of a Bhakti Shastri, but to go deeper. So it is everyone's responsibility that everyone have to take a little steps to study the scriptures. And also, I always remember like Srila Prabhupada, how much time he spent in translating all these books. And he didn't even sleep. He was sleeping only 2 hours a day. And he was translating, even at the deathbed, he was translating. For whom he was translating? We are saying like Prabhupada spent so much of his time and energy and life for translating these books. For whom? It is for us. And we cannot say that, oh, sorry, I don't have time to study. No, it is a disrespect we are doing for Prabhupada. right? So Prabhupada have given so much for us. So we cannot spend little time in every day in 24 hours, like not even we can spend like half an hour or an hour to study Prabhupada's book. It is a shame for us. So as a ISKCON representative, or like we can say as a ISKCON member, I cannot say that I don't have time. So it's very important that everyone should take some responsibility. Like sometimes, like, yeah, so we are interested in more of hearing. So hearing is always good, but also it is important that we should take some time. Like even it can be like 15 minutes or it can be 20 minutes. We should take some time and we have to read. When we read on our own, what happens is like we start putting our full concentration, and then we realize, oh, it's like that. So and like especially when we read, what happened, it goes into our mind very fast. Listening, yes, we listen, sometimes it will go, we listen this side and it will go outside, but when we read, it will go into our deep into our heart if we are reading properly. So it's not just for a formality reading, but when we are reading and try to understand very deep and try to see what I can implement. Okay, today this purport Prabhupada gave, and then let me see what I can implement from this, what I can take from this. Like it's given, it's a one time I was hearing in one of the lecture, like if Prabhupada write, like for example, okay, dear Syāmalā Gopīkā, my dear granddaughter, like, and he gave the purport, and then at the end, like, your well-wisher A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If he gave like this, how much we protect that, and how much we value that, how much we try to follow that, right? So that means that it's actually Prabhupada is giving to each and every one of us like this. So each and every purport is like this for us. So it is for us to study, it is for us to follow it. So if we take it in that mood, then we can able to progress in our spiritual path very seriously. So that is why it is very important that everyone should take some time to study Srila Prabhupada books for some time. And then also Prabhupada give here that a real Brahmana is a natural teacher or the spiritual master. Unless one has the Vedic knowledge, one cannot become a spiritual master. And very important point here, it says like Vedanta. Vedanta means, Anta means end. So for all the Vedas, the end is to understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Vedanta Krit Vedavit Eva Chagam. So Krishna says, to understand me is the supreme end of the Vedas. So if someone understand only till impersonal Brahman, then he may become a Brahmana, but he cannot become a spiritual master. Because a spiritual master means he have to understand that Krishna in all forms, like Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So these three forms, clearly he have to understand and understand the science of Krishna and present it to the general people. So if one cannot understand Krishna fully, then he cannot become a spiritual master. And so that's what here he gives the verse from Padma Puran, that an impersonalist can become a qualified Brahmana, but he cannot become a spiritual master unless and until he is promoted to the stage of a Vaishnava. So clearly we can see here what Prabhupada is saying, that Vaishnava doesn't come in this four category. Vaishnava is top, more than a Brahmana. So when a person is a Vaishnava, when we are calling someone as a Vaishnava, that means he is already a Brahmana. Then only he can become a Vaishnava. So then it's a very big responsibility. We are calling as like we are the ISKCON member, that, and we are Vaishnava. So that means we have to ask ourselves, am I a Brahmana? Am I possess the Brahmanical qualities? So if not, then we should work on it, right? So we have to work on the Brahmanical qualities. And because if we don't have the Brahmana quality, then we cannot even become a Vaishnava. Because a Vaishnava means definitely they have the Brahmanical quality. And just to recap that what are the Brahmanical qualities that Prabhupada talks about Samo dhamas tapas saucham shantirarjavamevacha jnanam vijnanam ashikyam brahma karma swabhagacham. So this is from chapter 18, text 42. Prabhupada gives the qualities of a brahmana. So what are the qualities? Samo dhamas tapas saucham. Peacefulness. So peacefulness, that means like we should never get agitate, right? So sometimes like some situation happens that we get agitated. So that is not a quality of a brahmana. So brahmana is always peaceful. In any kind of provoking situation also, he will be very peaceful. So because he is completely surrendered to Krishna. So he possesses that quality. And the next is self-control. So definitely without self-control, one cannot become a brahmana. So self-control is very important in every way. Like every self-control means it's not like just eating or anything. So Krishna talks about different types of self-control. The urge to speak, the urge to eat. So all the urges we have to control. So that's way we can able to develop this quality of self-control. And austerity, we have to perform some austerity. So this is austerity is to not to show off that okay, I can do this much of fasting, but austerity is actually, it has to make our heart soft. So one example, I'm remembering that one time some person was on Nirjala Ekadashi. So on Nirjala Ekadashi, one person was actually having Ekadashi Prasadam. And then another devotee saw that, and then that devotee was telling, like one Maharajas was coming, like I didn't remember which Maharaj. So he was telling to Maharaj, see, today is Nirjala Ekadashi and this devotee is eating. He is eating Ekadashi Prasad. So for that, Maharaj gave very beautiful answer that he is actually better than you. You are doing Nirjal and you are boosting. Yeah, thank you, Madhavi Mataji. It's His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. You are boosting your ego and you are feasting in your ego. But you are saying that you are fasting here, but you are feasting your ego. He is better. He is actually feasting his belly only, but he is not having the ego. That is better than you. So it's very important that whenever we perform anything, we have to check our attitude, like why we are doing. It's not to show off anything. So austerity is actually to make us to realize that I am not the body, right? So that is the main reason that we are performing this austerity, to get out of our original, to get out of our bodily consciousness and come to our original position. So that is the main reason we are performing austerity. So that's why whatever best possible, and it's not like we should spoil our health and do austerity, but whatever minimal, at least fasting on Ekadashi day and special days like Nityananda Triyodasi is coming and Gaur Purnima is coming and Janmashtami. So these festivals, definitely one should observe some level of fasting. Whatever the health permits, we should try to do some austerity. And then purity. So purity is very important externally and also internally. So externally, yes, everyone will do. There are a lot of cleanliness is given in our Vaishnava Sadachar, that even like when we drink water, we should wash our hands before we touch any paraphernalia of Krishna. So everything, like little things. When we go detail, that means we are giving focus on each and every detail. That means we are loving Krishna more, because we are giving so much detail. And of course, we should not become fanatic in giving details, and because of that offending someone. It's not the purpose. But when we do each and everything as our Acharya said, so then external cleanliness we can easily attain. And internal cleanliness is through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So through our chanting process is the only process that we can able to purify our sinful heart. So because And of course, like when we chant, it's not again as a formality we chant, then purification happens, but very late. But we have to put our sincere effort at least for those 2 hours when we are chanting. So when we put our full effort and concentration in the mantra, what we are chanting, when we hear the mantra, that's all. We don't have to imagine or anything. We just have to hear. So when we hear the mantra, so that actually helps us to purify. So that is purity. This is how we can maintain that purity. And tolerance. So tolerance is also very important quality of a brahmana. So when just imagine, like, a pujari is doing arti in the temple, and if someone is saying something and he gets angry and mad and he was shouting, he does arti. The arti time he does very nicely, but after coming from the altar, if he is criticizing everyone, so then it is not criticizing, like if someone is criticizing him, so then if he react to it very badly, so then what it shows that he doesn't have tolerance, right? So we have to develop this quality of tolerance. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says trinat api sunichena taror api sahishnana. So we have to develop the quality of tolerance. And that tolerance, when we develop not just this provoking situation, but also like when some problem comes to our life, so then we can able to, if we cannot able to tolerate that problem, or if we cannot able to tolerate anyone criticism, then we spoil our spiritual life. So we cannot progress. So this tolerance is very important in progressing. That's why Krishna also says, Tham titikshashva bharata, right? So whatever problem comes, you just tolerate. So that is the only way we can able to progress. If we keep on complaining, oh, why this person is doing, that person, no, let it go, tolerate, let it go, tolerate. So that way we can able to actually develop so much peace in our heart also, and it will subside other party, like whoever is trying to criticize. So tolerance is very important quality. And honesty. So definitely there is honesty should be there, no duplicity. So this is very important, because sometimes when we become a devotee, and when we start respected by others, so then this honesty might go a little bit far away, because to maintain that dignity in front of everyone, that we show off, but inside I'm not doing right, inside I'm not doing, so it should not be as duplicity. So externally, like showing that I'm doing this, that, but internally I'm not doing anything, but just to show up, like that is very, very danger in our spiritual path. So we should be honest, we should be honest. And it's not that going to each and everyone, I'm not doing this, I have this anartha, that anartha. We don't have to go and tell everyone, but at least we should have some shelter, that where we can go and open our heart and tell that these are the anarthas I'm struggling with, so can you please help? So we have to be honest. So that is the only way we can able to progress in our spiritual path. And wisdom. So wisdom and knowledge. So knowledge we should definitely possess by studying the scriptures, and the wisdom will come when we apply it. So when we just study, then it will be just here only. That will increase our ego. Nothing else it will do. But when we start practicing, putting our full effort in practicing, then when we realize that what we read, that is wisdom. So that wisdom also a brahmana should carry. And religiousness. So religiousness is basically our dharma, swadharma. So that swadharma is serving the Supreme Lord. So that is our swadharma. So we have to engage in the process of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So these are the process that our acharyas gave. So in this way, a brahmana should possess all these qualities and perform these kind of activities. So then only one can be called as a brahmana. So, and other more than that, and then understand the signs of Krishna very clearly, then he becomes a Vaishnava, and he can able to become also a spiritual master. So we have to keep on checking whether these qualities, whether I am possessing or where I am lacking, what quality I have to develop. So we have to keep on working. So that is the only way we can able to progress in our spiritual path. And also here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Kiba Vipra Kibanyasya Shudra Kenanai E Krishna Tattva Veta Say Guru Hai. So it's not that, okay, only this person can become, this caste of society can become a Vaishnava or spiritual master. No, anyone who knows the science of Krishna, who is well versed in the science of Krishna, he is qualified. So he can be a Shudra, or he can be a Brahmana, or he can be a sannyasi. Anyone who is well versed in Krishna, then he can become a spiritual master. So when we say spiritual master, we think like, okay, gurus, right? So yeah, definitely that is also there, but it is not that everyone have to become like a sannyasi spiritual master, but each and every one can become a guru. Like example, like Prabhupada, he asked like so many devotees, like they were studying different Vedas, and so he asked, okay, can you tell me like who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Because they studied so much, they cannot, like they were telling this, that, but then Prabhupada called little Saraswati, and then he called like, who is Supreme Personality of Godhead? So she said Krishna. So and she was telling like Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is actually preaching, right? So this is also preaching, and this way she also becomes spiritual master. So like the meaning is like, if we know, then we just share. So when we share, then it actually we are helping in that's why Prabhupada says that everyone have to become a Brahmana, so that everyone can share this knowledge to everyone. So for sharing, definitely we should try to cultivate at least some, even though if we don't have it fully, but still if we try best to our best, when we try to cultivate, then when we share, then it has the impact in the listeners. So if not, then it will be just yeah, there is just a time pass, like we are hearing, and then there will be no impact in the listeners or the speaker. So it has to be both sides. Like the speaker have to be genuinely try their best to practice what they are speaking, and also the listener have to be very intensively listening to take something from whatever that we are hearing, and genuinely try to practice it. So then it becomes a very good rapport. Like that's why Parikshit Maharaj is the best listener and Sukadeva Goswami is the best speaker. So this combination is so great. So then the spiritual progress can be very easily go on for both of them. So with this, I end, and thank you so much for giving this opportunity again. And I sincerely pray that I'm also struggling. I'm trying to practice whatever I'm speaking, and with all your blessings, so I can progress. Thank you so much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or any comments, please share.
Thank you very much,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji. Oh,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice class, Mataji. I really liked how you shared that, you know, the qualifications to become a Vaishnava are really to become a Brahmana first. And that was nice to hear. And, you know, it helped me better understand that process. So, and then hearing, of course, about the qualities of the Brahmana, it's very difficult. But, you know, but these are qualities we aspire to. So thank you for that reminder. It's a very beautiful class.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hare Krishna. Yes, Dronacharya Prabhu. You're in mute, Prabhu. Dronacharya Prabhu.
Thank you. Sorry, I was just as I was pushing the button to unmute myself, I got a phone call. So the screen changed and I had to transition over to it. Thank you for a wonderful class. I really appreciated the points you were bringing out, specifically about on this topic of authenticity. And, you know, we live in a world where everything seems to be so fake. People are really striving for prestige, and as a result, they want to take credit or a title of something, or claim, responsibility for something in which they're not actually have the qualities for. And I think we're always battling that issue of authenticity, because we want to be recognized. We want some type of prestige, whether it's my father was this, we want to ride on the success of our predecessors, or associating ourselves with something that makes us feel better and gives us. So at the same time, when we look at honestly at ourselves and we talk about authenticity, I often feel that we have to recognize our own inauthenticity, that, our habits to do that. And one of the ways I wanted to kind of take this out, as you explained, like a brahmana, known by its qualities. You gave the example of a judge. The son of a judge can't claim himself to have the power of a judge. Relevant to us, I think, relevant to me, but also assembly of devotees to think about, is this idea of discipleship, and how we are accepted by a spiritual master and guru and take on. We have a relationship. This is my guru. So I'm a disciple then, and sometimes that discipleship is not so deep. And I'm going to ask you to kind of comment on this, where we're just happy to get a name. We're just happy to say, okay, I'm associated with this guru. This means I'll go back to Godhead. And I remember in the disciples course, they really stressed on this point of how the Vani is more important than the Vapu, that the Shiksha, especially for us, is actually the stronger component than simply just the Diksha. Both are equally, have their equal roles and importance, but because we have this inauthenticity in our lives, and it surrounds us all together, we can easily fall into this trap, even in spiritual life, of just saying, okay, I'm a disciple, but the qualities aren't necessarily given a priority to develop. Can you share any thoughts on that?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Is a very important point that everyone should understand. That actually yesterday only we were reading about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his life history. So in that, like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, like how he accepted initiation. So his guru was rejecting Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was such a scholar, and his guru is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Like he is externally he's illiterate, right? So, but still, like when Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, like you go and accept initiation, so Maharaj was really trying, and he was rejecting. Like every time he is telling, oh. I have to, let me check with Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he says okay, then I will accept you. And then he's standing again and again. So he was he was frustrating. He was frustrated, and he said, like, I'm going to leave my body if you're not going to give me initiation. So please consider me. Just give me 1 minute. My battery is getting low. Yeah, sorry. So he was telling that how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was very patient, and he understands the importance of taking Diksha. It's not a formality of getting a name, right? So we have to understand this very sincerely. Like it's nowadays unfortunate situation that Okay, so if we are practicing for like 1 or 2 years and then I have to get initiated, everyone have name like Das or Dāsī. So let me also get a name and then everyone will respect me. So I can engage in different services. So that is not a mood of getting initiation. So many people, like specifically Brahman initiation, everyone like they ask this question in the interview that, so why you are taking Brahman initiation? It is or like sorry, not Brahman, for Bhakti Shastri. Many people come and do Bhakti Shastri nowadays. It is because that it is become a mandatory for becoming a Brahman initiation. So just for that, people come and study. Okay, at least they are studying in that way, but that is not the motive. So when we take initiation, so it is we are surrendering our ego. So, but what unfortunately it is happening is we are taking in a reverse order. We are boosting our ego by taking initiation. So that is not the ultimate goal. Like the goal is to surrender. Like we are telling our guru that I surrender my ego to you. I am yours. You do whatever you want. I am become a puppet of you. So that is the mood of initiation. So of course, like definitely that's why this disciple course is very important to take these disciple course and all the courses. Like it is, we have to make it as a mandate. Like nowadays we kept like in our temple, like we make sure that everyone should go through the disciple course, then only they are allowed to. And especially we are doing in-person disciple courses nowadays, because in that way, like of course we listen to the classes online and we can take exams, so that is fine. But when we have in person, so then we can have more of interaction, practical situation every day, like what we face, and every disciple course subjects we can talk in detail and practically we can discuss. So then how we should see, like, and how Vani plays the more important. Like Prabhupada always says that if a mosquito is sitting on the guru's body, it's also associating with the guru all the time, but it doesn't mean that okay, it is giving some pleasure for guru. No. So it's not that being with guru in a vapu form, if we can get chance, that is more good. So but still, more than vapu, Vani plays more important. That's what we study in disciple course, right? So yeah, that's what it is. We have to stress this importance to whoever is going to take initiation. At least we have to stress this importance to them every day. Like that's why like we have to divide. Like now in US, like unfortunately there is no counseling system is there, but in India, like we have a counseling system. Like whoever comes, like they divide the people into different counselors, so that like one person will take care of like few devotees, so then that person will report the sadhana chart and everything to that person. So in that way he becomes accountable for someone, right? So that way we can maintain the honesty. So otherwise, like we say that I'm initiated, but sometimes we don't even follow that. So these accountable will come only when we take shelter. So slowly, whatever practical possible, that we should try to put everyone in someone's shelter, so that we can make sure that this accountability is there. And so that then of course when sadhana chat comes, so then we have to listen to some lectures. So in that way we are deeply connecting to our Guru Parampara. So I'm not sure if that helps, Prabhu.
Thank you for that explanation.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or any comments?
Very, very good class. Very nice class, Mataji. You gave a lot of explanations. And at my age, taking these classes, how much it will get into my brain and how much I can retain in that. These classes, mine is all practical experiences, life experience only. So if I take the class also, forgetfulness comes to me now. Age is the one. And I cannot say age also I will try my best, but still I do forget. So I don't know how it will work for my life, these classes. So
Yeah,
like you
just
said,
whatever we try to be when we practice, so then it goes into deep into our heart. Then it becomes easy to share. Like we don't have to like memorize some points. Like it when we practice, then it becomes practical. So like how you said, like a life experience, it becomes a life experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
So some of them from my childhood, these points, I have life experience only.
Yeah.
So studying and writing exams or telling, that is my, now it's becoming weak. At one point, younger age I was, but it comes little bit weaker now. Anyway, so that's what I thought when
But at least we can read. Like we don't have to take Bhakti Shastri courses. Like courses
Yeah.
means like we have to write exams. But at least we can make a effort to study every day.
That's
Prabhupada book. So that is possible. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so
very much, Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. It was very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.